Hello, welcome back to my channel. Hi if you're new, and welcome to another sort of spooky, classic-y type vlog where we're going to read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by R.L. Stevenson, and there's other stories in this as well. This has got The Merry Men, Markheim, Thrawn Janet, Olalla, Willow the Mill, The Treasure of Franchard. I've never read any of these before. I don't know anything about them apart from a little bit about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I don't really know a lot. All I know is that he's a doctor, and I believe he takes this drug, which turns him into Mr. Hyde, and it's about sort of battling with this other, more forceful personality. I know there have been sort of films and adaptations of this, but I've just never watched any. I think the closest that I have actually seen in films is, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I believe that's got Mr. Hyde in it. And also, does anyone remember that cartoon years ago with Macaulay Culkin? What is it? The Page Master, where he sort of gets lost in this library and ends up in this cartoon world. And one of the books, horror, takes him into like Dr. Jekyll's lab or something. Anyway, that's as much as I know, which is really not very much. So I'm looking forward to getting into this tonight. And as always, I'll check in with you as I go. I try not to give you too many spoilers. I try not to give you any spoilers. I'll do what I can, but I can't promise. I'll catch up with you later. The writing is so tiny. But let's dive in. As always, let's get Duke settled with a cartoon while I get into my book. Although he does seem to be asleep already. We're a chapter in. I must get used to the classic writing. I will after a few more chapters. I love the description though. Seriously, you can have like a 4-sentence description to describe something that really needs one adjective. But anyway, yeah, it's fine. We've got 2 gentlemen have been introduced to us, and one of them has witnessed an altercation involving Mr. Hyde. We think we know where Mr. Hyde lives, and that's it. I can't tell you any more. I'm intrigued to see what happens. I'm just going to read this little bit to you, which in a book written this current time would be sort of like they were so stressed they couldn't sleep. This says, that was the amount of information that the lawyer carried back with him to the great dark bed on which he tossed to and fro until the small hours of the morning began to grow large. It was a night of little ease to his toiling mind, toiling in mere darkness and besieged by questions. That's what I love about classics. It's just, the description is so heavy, but it's normally really beautiful as well. So anyway, it just made me smile. I will catch up with you a bit further on. I mean, it's fine. I'm, on page 14 now. And I didn't realise how short it was. It's only like 50 odd pages. The Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde bit anyway. Yeah, so one of the guys that we met in the beginning is a lawyer, and he's done a will for Dr. Jekyll. However, he has met Mr. Hyde and therefore has some concerns. That's all I'm going to tell you. Because that's all I know. But yeah, I'm enjoying the writing style, and the story so far is quite interesting, but it just feels weird that I'm like a fifth of the way into it already, and I feel like I've only been reading for about 20 minutes. So anyway, I'll continue. And what's interesting is I got this copy from a charity shop, and it's got some annotations in it. I love reading other people's annotations. Does anyone else? I'm nosy, and I want to see like if I feel the same way that they did and stuff. So right, catch up with you later. You know, I said literally 2 seconds ago, and I'm only on the next page, that I like reading people's annotations. We just had description of a scene where Mr. Hyde gets a bit bold, and I have to show you the brilliant annotation here. That's just tickled me. Right, catch up later. So I have just hit the halfway mark through Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I am enjoying it. The only thing that I'm finding really strange, but in a good, interesting way, is that in my head I'd sort of imagined Mr. Hyde to be kind of like Hulk, like, you know, this massive evil man creature that's like jumping buildings and things like that, and no. And that's very strange, but I like it. I'm enjoying it. It's good. So I'm going to dive back in, and I will catch up with you at least before I venture into the other stories. If not, just get a bit further ahead in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So I've just finished Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I'm about to go on to the short stories. But I really enjoyed that. And I think I enjoyed it so much because it wasn't what I expected. I expected this monster to be leaping from buildings, destroying buildings and people, and absolute chaos. And although there was chaos in it, it was more on almost on a personal level. But yeah, I thought it was fab. It was really well written. I love the description. I love the classic writing anyway. And yeah, completely took me by surprise. So really, really pleased I read that. Now on to The Merry Men, a gripping Highland tale of shipwrecks and madness. So bring it on. Okay, so I've just read The Merry Men, and you know when you sit and you read something and you're sure you're taking it in, and then you read it and you're just like, what on earth did I just read? And unfortunately that's how I feel with that one. So roll on the next short story, which is Will o' the Mill, a thought-provoking fable about a mountain innkeeper. See how we get on. Just finished Will o' the Mill, didn't particularly care for it. Next we've got Markheim, a sinister study of the mind of a murderer, which sounds really good. So we'll give it a go. It's a lot later now, and I finished the book. I'm sorry I didn't vlog between all the other little stories. I just kind of got into them, but not in an amazing way. I didn't particularly love them. To me, none were as good as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They were interesting enough, so if you get the opportunity to read them all, go for it. But if it was just Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I would probably give this a 4 or a 4.5 out of 5. Because the book had the rest of the stories in, kind of dropped it down to about a 2.5, which is a shame because I just really didn't enjoy them. So I think we're going to settle at a 3. Yeah, 3, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe 3.5 for the Jekyll and Hyde thing then, because I really did actually enjoy that. For a short story, I thought it was really good, and it wasn't what I expected. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you now. If you've made it to the end of the video, leave me an emoji of a spooky emoji or an emoji of something that scares you. So in my case, it would be a helicopter or spider. But anyway, right, I'll catch up with you soon. Bye.